7.1 Example 1 Textbook. Andy's rental car charges an initial fee of $20 plus an additional $30 per day to rent a car. Buddy's rental car charges an initial fee of $36 plus an additional $28 per day. For what number of days is the total cost charged by the companies the same? Step 1. Write an expression representing the total cost of renting a car from Andy's rental car. Alright, for Andy, they told us the initial fee was $20 plus the cost for X days, $30 per day. So that's 30 times X, where X is the days. Step 2, write an expression representing the total cost of renting a car from Buddy's rental car. At Buddy's, the initial fee was $36 and the cost for X days was $28 per day. $28 per day, and the initial fee was $36. Step 3, write an equation that can be solved to find the number of days for which the total cost charged by the companies would be the same. So what you would do is total cost at Andy's is 20 plus 30 times X. That's going to be equal to the total cost at Buddy's, which is 36 plus 28X. Step 4. Solve the equation for X. Step 1. Write the equation. 20 plus 30 times X is equal to 36 plus 28 times X. Step 2. Subtract 28 from both sides. Now notice you got a 30X and a 28X. You know you have to move one of these X's to the other side. The question is, which one do you move? Alright, a general rule of thumb is to move the smallest X. Always move the smallest X. In this case, the smallest X between 30X and 28X is 28X. Now this says plus 28, so we're going to do the opposite, which is a negative 28. So a negative 28X on this side and a negative 28X on this side. Okay, now in case you're wondering, you can move the 30X, but notice if you move the 30X, you will end up saying a negative 30 and a negative 30. You will end up with a negative 2. Now if you did your math correctly, you will come out with the correct answer. But oftentimes, when you end up working with a negative, it means an additional 1 or 2 steps. Not always, but in most cases, you end up with an additional 1 or 2 steps. At any rate, we're going to move the smaller numbers, which is the 28. Now look at what we got. A positive 28, when combined with a negative 28, that goes to 0. So this is gone. I'm left with just 36. Then I have a positive 30X minus a 28X. A positive 30X minus a 28X. What is 30 minus 28? That's 2. So I'm left with 2X. And I'll bring my 20 down. So now I'm left with 20 plus 2X is equal to 36. This is a two-step equation. Multiplication and addition. Multiplication and addition. I want to get this X by itself. So we already know that we start working with the addition and subtraction first. This is a positive 20. So to each side, I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. I'll do the opposite of what I read. Positive 20, so negative 20, negative 20. 20 minus 20, that goes to 0. I'm left with just 2X is equal to 36 minus 20 is 16. So now I'm down to a one-step equation. 2 times X is equal to 6. Multiplication only. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So therefore I will divide both sides by 2. So 2X divided by 2 here, and then 16 divided by 2 there. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm left with just 1X. Once again, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm left with just 1X. But we don't write the 1 down because how many X's do we see? We see only 1, but we know there's a number 1 that's sitting there in case we need it. And then 16 divided by 2 is 8, so X is equal to 8. The total cost is the same as if the rental is for 8 days. The total cost is the same if the rental is for 8 days. 7.1 Example 2 from the textbook. Write a real-world situation that could be modeled by the equation 150 plus 25x is equal to 55 times x. Step 1. The left-hand side of the equation consists of a constant plus a variable term. It could represent the total cost for doing the job, where there is an initial fee plus an hourly charge. The initial fee is $150. The hourly charge is 25 times x, in other words, $25 per hour, where x is the amount of hours. Step 2. The right side of the equation consists of a variable term, 55 times x. It could represent the cost for doing the same job based on an hourly charge only. Step 3. The equation 150 plus 25 times x is equal to 55 times x could be represented by this equation. A handyman charges $150 plus $25 per hour for house cleaning. A painter charges $55 per hour. How many hours would a job have to take for the handyman's fee and the painter's fee to be the same?